what? All those shots were taken by this little camera, guys. What is going on, everyone? It feels so great to spend some time with you guys again. If you're new to this channel, basically I'm just coming back from doing a 30-day vlog challenge another YouTuber named Scott McKenna put out, where I got to use this Sony RX100 Mark 5A every single day for like a month. You could say I have an opinion about this camera by now. So we are going to talk about the good, the ugly, and why this could be your best vlogging camera this year compared to a lot of the other small vlogging camera out there today. Now, this is not going to be a video listing out every single specs of this camera, but I will be focusing on the features that are related to this being a really good vlogging camera. I'll link the product page in the description below so you can see the full specs of this camera and take a look at some of the written reviews. Some of them are actually kind of interesting and really helpful. So let's talk about the pros of this camera. First, this little thing has 3 different levels of IBIS modes. It's got the standard steady shot mode, active mode, and if that's not enough, you could go Super Saiyan at intelligent active mode. So I recently did a YouTube challenge called Fake Gimbal Challenge, where I had to create a footage that looked like the gimbal shot, but really it had to be like all handheld. Yes, I had to be light on my feet, but majority of the camera shake was taken away by the RX100's IBIS. For a small point and shoot camera, I thought the IBIS was pretty impressive. Second notable feature is going to be the super high frame rate. If you saw my recent Instagram story, I tested this full 1080p 960 frames per second feature of this camera by throwing up a lump of green jello into my face at like 90 miles per hour. Well, it felt like about 90 miles per hour. Now at that frame rate, there's about 1.7 times crop and some grain starting at like ISO 1000, but I think this can tell some unique stories on your vlog that no other small camera can actually offer. You'll need a lot of sunlight for the 960 frames per second, but this camera can also do 480, 240, and 120 frames per second all at 1080p. And that 120 frames per second is very usable and there's no crop factor. That is an amazing feature since some of the full frame cameras, twice the price as this, have a crop factor if you shoot at 120 frames per second or even at 4K. I know you're thinking at this point, say, you still haven't said much about why this is possibly the best vlogging camera. Well, so far these features will get you some buttery smooth B-rolls for you, but for actual talking headshots, most vlogging setup would require you to have a shotgun mic attached to the camera since most cameras' internal mic is not acceptable. This camera, on the other hand, has a surprisingly great built-in mic. Built-in mic. Built-in mic. Yeah, I don't like that word either, but hear me out. There isn't a setting to change like the input level on this built-in mic, but it auto levels and filters your voice around like -3 dBs very clearly, which means that you don't have to like mess with it and clean and level the audio level during the post, and that helped me so much during my 30-day vlog challenge since I had to upload very fast and often. Here's an audio sample straight from this camera outdoors. It rained a couple days ago, so the water is kind of crazy, as you can see. Yeah. So even if this camera had a shoe mount and a 3.5mm jack for an external microphone, I don't think I would use it. On quality to convenience ratio, this is just too good. That doesn't mean this camera is windproof though. There were definitely times when I was vlogging outdoors in moderate wind and my voice did get garbled. Alright, well, I gotta wrap this up. I gotta catch the plane, so I'll see you guys in a bit in the airport. In the future vlogs, I am going to try this micro windjammer, so we'll see how that sounds. To me, the biggest reason why this is the best vlogging camera is the fact that this camera passes the skinny jeans test. If I can put a 4K vlogging camera with a great autofocus in a skinny jeans pocket and pull it out of the middle of the mall or museum without too many people noticing that I had a camera the whole time, yeah, that's a game changer. Unlike a larger camera in my camera bag, I tend to just film a lot more vlog content since this can go right into my pocket. So forget that this camera has some insane 1-inch sensor, dynamic range of 12.4, shoots S-Log2 at base ISO 1000. Forget that this camera shoots great raw pictures. Forget that this camera has a built-in ND filter that shades your sensor with the press of a couple buttons and has a great face autofocus ability in video. Forget that this can transfer 1080p video straight into your phone using an app. There's a custom buttons and function menu that declutters the whole complicated menu system. It just comes down to the stealthiness. If you like those features I just mentioned, well, more power to this camera. So since there's no such thing as perfect camera and it's up to us to like make the camera perfect for the situation by being aware of the limitations, here are some limitations you should be aware of. First is the battery life. This is going to be an issue with a lot of the smaller cameras since the batteries are so teeny. Add 4K processing and slow motion into the equation, one full day of vlog will take about 3 to 4 of these NPBX1 batteries. Luckily, this model battery's been out for a while, so you can find some really good third-party replicas. Best brand I always go for is called Wasabi.
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 Wasabi!
Yeah, they make the best replica batteries in my experience. I'll link both Sony batteries and Wasabi brand RX100 batteries in the description so you can see the price difference. So having a teeny battery wouldn't be as a big problem if the placement of the battery door was slightly different. You see, on all of RX100s, the battery door is so close to the tripod screw hole. If you have a selfie stick or a tripod mount on here, you have to unscrew the whole mechanism every time you have to change the battery. This drawback is actually a common problem with other point and shoot camera as well. Maybe that was the only placement to get the camera to be like this small. How small? So small that the best part about this camera is also the worst part when it comes to ergonomics. I had to get this mini vlogging tripod thing so it doesn't like slip out of my hand. I know they also sell like this little leathery rubber handle you can like stick on, but I got this slip-on rubber casing instead. I want to stick on the micro windjammer microphone cover on the rubber case directly so I can just freely remove it. So I'll do a separate video on that in the near future if you think that's going to be a helpful video. So this last issue may only apply to people who vlog in a very hot condition. Since this is such a powerful camera and a small form factor, it is prone to overheating. I never had an issue during my 30-day vlog challenge in a winter month, but prior to that in a warmer like room temperature around like 80 degrees, I did see a high temperature alert warning message. Camera never shut down though since I just flipped the screen up so to expose like more metal surface to cool the camera, but I think that's something to consider if you live in like a desert or want to vlog during the summertime. Also, it will depend on the style of vlogging shoots you have in mind. I never like record for more than like several minutes at a time here and there, so I don't have to worry about this overheating issue in the summertime. Those were the negatives that you should be aware of. So why did I choose RX100 Mark 5A instead of Mark 6 as a vlogging camera? To me, extra zoom range of 24 to 200mm and the touchscreen on the Mark 6 was not worth the sacrifice of f1.8 low light capabilities and couple $100. I did test out the Mark 6 when it first came out and I just didn't like the look of the f2.8. RX100 Mark 5 was the close call since it's so similar, but I found that for about $50 more, I was getting improved autofocus and better menu system on Mark 5A. I also consider other point and shoot cameras like the Panasonic LX100 Mark II, and that can do 4K but it doesn't have like the flip up screen and it's much bigger than RX100. There is the Canon G7X Mark II which does have the flip out screen and is close in size, but it was missing the 4K and 120 frames per second. 4K is important to me since I'm not really the best at talking in front of a camera, and 4K allows me to punch in and cut between takes. Now in the description below, I'm going to list all the cameras I consider that competes with Sony RX100 Mark 5A for sizes and features. Feel free to compare and take a look at yourself, but no other camera has the feature set and the minuscule size of the RX100 Mark 5A. One could argue that the price is a little too steep, but think about how much a decent mirrorless camera costs these days and how much more the lens costs these days. I think there's a huge value in this little tiny camera. I am going to start my season 2 vlog in a couple of weeks and this camera is going to be a huge part of it along with my Sony a7 III. So I'm super pumped about that. I got some exciting news coming up and I can't wait to share with you guys. So hope to see you on the next video, and until then, make it a good one guys. Later.